Hello everyone, welcome to the Land Timber stream. Hope you're having a great day off, those here in the United States. I certainly have. I really enjoyed it, and I've actually got a lot done in the labbing arena. Labbing and studying, mainly studying. I'm about to get some done in labbing, but yeah, it's been great. And this wallpaper of the day, just get right into it, folks. This is, and I have to look to remember, NGC 1032 from the Hubble telescope. Man, this was a NASA photo of the day. Beautiful, beautiful. Multiple galaxies there shown, but cool stuff. Here we are talking about networking, ISIS, 13 days ago. So it's getting real, folks. Less than 2 weeks before the written exam, but I'm feeling better than ever. And before I get into labbing ISIS, I want to just, kind of review where I'm at in general in terms of the. Oh, echo. Thank you. 1 second. Fix that. Oh, echo. Thank you. 1 second. Fix that. Okay, hopefully that is better. Oh, I think I know what's going on. Man, I'm still troubleshooting this audio, but that's okay. More ISIS, that's right. Okay, great. Thank you, folks. Sorry about that. Yeah, what I was saying is wallpaper of the day. This is from the Hubble telescope. And it is a particular galaxy NGC 1032. Awesome stuff, nasa.gov. So yeah, ISIS, more ISIS, of course. 13 days though, it's getting real. Feeling better than ever with the BOSON testing I did all weekend. And now it's got to the point where it's not as really effective because I've been doing it, I don't know, I've done it so many times that I've pretty much memorized a lot of the material, for better or worse. So now I rifle through it in about 30 minutes. That's 120 questions for the CCI written, BOSON sim testing, and I'm scoring consistently above like 930, 940. I just did one, I think it was a 960. So feeling really, really good about the material, what I've learned. The drill worksheet has helped me a lot, and what I just need now is to review the ISIS portion, in particular neighbor adjacencies, and when those form properly, when those do not, etc. L1 and L2 style routers and how those interact with each other. So I've gotten to the point where now I pretty much get the questions right, but I still feel like I need to dig a little deeper. So I just have a couple of meat chunks here. These are all related to the lab we're about to do. This is the lab itself, which all I did was pull this from it's a real simple scenario. It's not even fully what we're going to lab, but it's this document. Quit. Don't be downloading stuff. It's this document. It comes right from the Cisco documentation example on how to configure ISIS. And the example they give is they're all in the same area. So we're going to play with that though. We're going to break it and then fix it, things like that. And then the drill sheet, because I have a section in the drill sheet which is related to ISIS. And I wouldn't say it's entirely accurate. It may be better now, but we're going to go through these scenarios and just lab them up and just confirm kind of what I think is the case with ISIS. So good stuff, man. I'm excited. I haven't really labbed anything in a while, so this will be good. And in fact, this is kind of a good opener for EvenG. I'm running the EvenG Pro Edition. It's kindly oh, that's cool. Display too small. Some other applications that do that. But that was kindly given to me as an evaluation from the EvenG folks. So I'm using the Pro version. I'm not using as a matter of fact, do I have any other meat chunks? No. Okay, we can close the agenda. Our agenda's done. Let's get into labbing, right? So I'm going to move this over here to the lab screen. Yeah, Open Source Society. More Cisco. That's right. More Cisco. More bits. More good bits. Well, we hope they're good bits. So it's been a while since I've done some labbing, folks, here on stream. That's used to be all I did on stream. I didn't just blog. I just lab. So give me a second here while I see how we can get all this together. So yeah, there are a couple modes in EvenG Pro Edition, by the way. And that's my router, sorry. Yeah, be sure to reboot your router because Nation actors may be logged into your router right now if you haven't heard. That was just on NBC Nightly News, interestingly enough. Let's log out here. Yeah, so I'm using native console mode. You can use the HTML5 desktop, which I'm not going to do, but it's much more powerful. I'm not going to do right now because we'll do this when we get back to labbing after we pass the written in, less than 2 weeks. But for now, we're just going to use the browser-based. Yeah, here we go. So here's our scenario, folks. We got just 3 routers. That's it. And all of these are going to be in the same area to start. They're all going to be configured with the defaults. By the way, if you haven't seen it yet, Russ White has a video series on iOS that you can find on Safari. Haven't watched it, but everything I've seen from it is just fantastic. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Russ White's a pro, man. He's a CCAR. No, I have not. And as a matter of fact, I don't want to go too deep, guys, to be honest. Again, I'm trying to, economy is important. Economy of time, economy of attention, and economy of effort is very important right now as we get down to really close. And as a matter of fact, I have strayed away. I've told myself I'm very tempted to lab this, but no, you're getting ready for the written. You've been labbing for 6 months. You got to focus right now on the written. Only lab as a necessity. Like you just feel, I'm talking to myself, you just feel like you've got to really get this in your head. We'll need to lab this. And I've said a couple of different times, I need to lab ISIS, and I haven't done it. But now that I'm feeling a little over somewhat of the hump, I'm passing these BOSON exams every time. I feel like I have a little room to maneuver in, time-wise, to do this. So, but yeah, I really appreciate that, Escaralpus90. It's probably will regret not having watched those earlier, as I've kind of struggled a little bit to find good material on ISIS. But just a little background on ISIS. Did not know really anything about it before I started getting prepared for the CCIE. And I just knew that it was it was an underlying protocol for some technology Cisco implements, the Nexus platform like Fabric Path and OTV. That's about all I knew about it. I've since yet come to learn, even from the Discord channel and others who use it day to day, that it is very important to service providers, in particular for the service provider cores. And it makes a lot of sense. I've done the BGP VPN v4 labs in the INE workbook. I've done some, multi-protocol BGP labs, several of them with MPLS, and you see the importance of the service provider core. In a lot of those labs, I was in those labs in the INE workbook, you use OSPF, which makes sense because OSPF is part of is among, of course, the lab topics or things that you have to lab. So it makes more sense that we practice with OSPF, and I'm sure a lot of implementations use OSPF. But it does make sense that service providers would also leverage ISIS. This is just me. It's my, early impressions. It seems that it may have less overhead in terms of configuration than OSPF, and it appears to be less difficult maybe to troubleshoot or diagnose issues with. And also it operates at a lower quote-unquote layer of the OSI model, so to speak. and which provides more flexibility in terms of less reliance on TCP/IP in particular in the stack or doing your core routing. So it seems to have appeal for a lot of those reasons, but I've explained all that. Let's go into the lab here. I've started up these routers. Really no configuration on these routers right now. This is just blank, just before the stream. Pop these on here. And what we're going to do to start is configure interface 0, loopback 0, this IP. GI00 will be this link, of course, router 1 to router 2. And this will have an IP address configured, and it will be configured IP router ISIS on the interface with the defaults for the interface configuration. Then we're going to do router ISIS passive interface loopback 0, and we have a network number. There's a network command, I should say, with, of course, system ID, area ID, system ID. And this is going to be all the same throughout. And these will be at the defaults. And I believe the defaults are that it will be a L1, L2 router. I'm not 100% sure about that, though. We're about to find out. This is the only documentation I've looked at, is this link right here. There's some show commands, things like that. But let's fire up a terminal here. Actually, let's just launch from Eve. I don't use fancy terminals, guys. Well, I do at work. I do on my work computer. But I try on the Mac to keep it very simple, because in the lab, in the real lab, all you're going to have is putty. You're going to have to right-click to paste. Right? And I try to get a version of putty that works on the Mac. There is a version out there that purports to work just like putty. It did not work for me at all. That could be an OS X Sierra thing, I'm not sure, but yeah, it was total failure. Host router 2. And this guy will be, oops, router 3. This is one of the first real sort of labs I'm doing here with Eve. Using the viral images, of course. Alright, so we got router 1, router 3, router 2. Okay. Router 1, we'll just do this manually. We don't have to copy paste. So, for your terminal, interface loopback 0. Yeah. And then interface GI 0. I think this is /24. Yep. So we've got 12, let's do 16, 12.1 here. And IP router ISIS. Routing process tag. Interesting. So you'll note that on this gigabit interface, when you do IP router, the only option is ISIS, which makes sense. I always like to hit enter or question mark just to see what my options are when I'm doing something for the first time, right? And we're going to say router ISIS. Actually, router ISIS question mark. ISO routing area tag, okay. Passive interface L0. And then net 49.0001.1720. Cool. So that's router 1. Now let's go over here to, well, actually, let's look at the show IP protocols. First time I've seen this, routing protocol is ISIS, outgoing filter update. Address summarization none. Of course, it does support that. Routing for networks, Jazz 00. Passive interfaces. Cool. Show interface Jazz 00. Oh, it's a down. Now it's up. Okay, it's up 162.16.1.1. That's loopbox 0. Jazz 00 is up 162.16.12.1. Cool. Show IP route. OAS connected and local, right? We will be looking for this. Okay, this is interesting. I've not really looked at this in detail. In fact, there have not really been any questions on BOSON about this. There have been, there haven't really been anything in terms of what it looks like in the routing table. But here you have it. I is ISIS, SU is ISIS summary, L1 ISIS level 1, L2 ISIS level 2, IA ISIS inter area. So quite a few options here for ISIS. Yeah, I'm used to seeing that with OSPF. But ISIS link state protocol looks like it is also pretty talky here when it comes to all the things it'll give you as an output in the show IP route command. All right, let's go router 2. I will just paste this. And then we'll go down here. We're going to put a no shut here on both of these. Okay, so now we should have an adjacency. Show IP, no, show CLNS neighbors. Aha, first time I've ever used this command in a lab. Anyone know what CLNS is an abbreviation for? I know the first three. I forget what the fourth letter is. Going once, going twice. Service. Okay, I knew it was connectionless network service. Okay. Oh, did I just press lock lab by accident? That's a cool feature, by the way. I don't know if that's in the community edition or just the pro. I think that's in community. All right, so here we have it. And okay, this is the default. L1, L2. Protocol, ISIS, up. And let's see if we've learned any routes, actually. We have. Check it out. So we've learned the loop back through ISIS. And it's interesting that it does not distinguish this as an L1 or an L2. Maybe because it doesn't matter in this scenario, because we are, let's see, show CLNS. Oh, interesting. It has IS neighbor adjacencies and ES neighbor adjacencies. Yeah, because CLNS is not necessarily exclusive to ISIS. CLNS was actually, if you've read Radia Perlman's book on interconnections, bridges, router switches, yeah. If you read her book, she goes into great detail about CLNS and how, you know, she has some very strong opinions about Ethernet and its limitations, or certain design inferiorities, let me put it that way, compared to other designs. And it was my impression from the book that she was actually a big fan of CLNS. But here we are. OS2 was a great operating system from IBM. It was far superior to Windows in its design. But market forces aside and its practicality means that OS2 is long gone, right? So anyway, we're not going to argue about that right now. But show CLNS neighbors. I wanted to see if there's any... Okay, so you can do it by interface. You can do it... This is interesting. First time kind of checking this out. Obviously, you can specify the interface, which gives the same result right now. We only have one neighbor currently. You can also do areas. Multiple areas are not configured. Okay, I think I've read something about this where generally you configure, for example, you could configure an ISIS backbone area, and you configure an ISIS area. Not necessarily considered multiple areas, but there is a multi-area ISIS configuration, I believe. You know, because when you start talking about service provider stuff, there's probably all sorts of designs that are optional or available. So we can do, let's see, show CLNS neighbors detail. And here we get the system ID. Interesting. J00, the SNPA. I think that's service node provider address. I don't remember exactly. State uphold time. And this in particular is what we're looking for to understand in detail, is the type, because type is very critical. I can almost guarantee this will be asked. Something about this will be asked on the written exam. I'm pretty sure of it. It comes up a lot in the BOSON exam, we put it this way. Here's your area address, 49.0.0.1. The IP address, there's a star here. I don't know what that means. Uptime, NSF capable, non-stop forwarding interface. Cool. All right, let's configure router 3. And again, that's going to be pretty much the same, except we're going to do no shut here. Now this, did I get that right? Okay, this is probably a typo because right here I have a /24. And right here I have a /30. Let me check the, I'm not sure if that's, this is the Cisco's example. Configuring ISIS for IP on routers. Okay, this uses an Ethernet 0, of course. Oh, these were serial, that's why. Okay. And they were on the same... Okay, what did I configure this Ethernet as? 12.2. Okay, that's right. So yeah, if I do show IP interface brief, 12.2. All right, 255. Makes sense. And that's fine if we do this. We're not using serial interfaces, of course. But we've already configured router 2, so we're going to go with the mask as it is. Okay. So we've got our router 1, 2, and 3. Happy campers. You know, it's funny. I was trying to tweet this out, guys, that I was about to stream, and it still has not tweeted it. You see the little line up there, the blue line? I don't know if you can see that. It's still trying to tweet this. And I think that's odd. And you know what I think it is, to be honest? ISIS. Because, is there some checker in the Twitter app that is going to flag, and I'm going to have people showing up at my door? Now it says, what do you want to do? Do you want to delete the tweet or continue trying to send it? We'll go ahead and delete it. That's okay. I've already started the stream like half an hour ago, so never mind Twitter. Yeah, I'm probably, my router's being, my line is being monitored probably by the government, and my router is right now being controlled by a foreign state actor. So it's okay. Watch me all you want, guys. I'm just doing ISI stuff. Okay. Sorry for that. I know it's being a little cynical, but anyway, show IP route. So now here we're starting to see our L1s and L2s. And let's see why that is. Is that just a delay there? Because earlier, this same route, no, it showed L1. Okay, it did. Nice. Okay, so let's do show CLNS neighbors. And yeah, they both show layer, or L1, L2, level 1, level 2. I keep wanting to say layer. But obviously that is because we configured everything at the default, which is cool. So we've got our configuration in. We can close this. Let's open up the scenarios we're trying to test here. And let's move this guy over. Let's move him from this galaxy over to this galaxy. There we go. And if we look at these scenarios, I tried to sort of map this out earlier. I don't know that these are 100% accurate because I haven't really visited them in a hot minute. But the assumption is, okay, let's say we have router A and router B, that they are both level 1 only and in the same area. Okay. Let's see what that looks like. My prediction is that on router A, if you do a show CLNS neighbor, that you will see level 1 ISIS. So let's figure out what that command is. I don't even know what it is, but we'll figure it out. Interface GI00, and we're going to say router ISIS IP router. What if you wanted to do... So I could do CLNS router, couldn't I? ISIS. Or I could use the ISO IGRP routing protocol. What do you think about that, guys? Nah, another day. No, that's not the command. So let's say ISIS priority. Okay, that's when you're talking about the designated router election, right? This is interesting because you can do IP router ISIS, but there's also an ISIS configuration command, adjacency filter, advertise, control addresses, advertisement, LSPs, links interesting, LSPs versus LSAs. Authentication, yes. I know about that command. By the way, on the BOSON, it does ask you, it will say, if you see the command ISIS authentication. No, I think it says, yeah, ISIS password. What is that the password for in ISIS configuration mode? Is it for the interface? Is it for the domain? Or is it for the area? Kind of a tricky question, right? Well, if you see it here, this is actually for the interface level authentication. The command for domain authentication is domain password, I think, and area password. Only for the interface does it say ISIS password. which is a very generic command. If you just see that in a question, remember, that is for the interface level authentication password. Hello interval, IP, mesh, metric network, password priority protocol. What does this do? Oh, set ISIS administrative state to disable. Kind of like this. Because if you're doing a large deployment, you can configure everything. And the only thing you have to do to enable it is, I'm assuming, no ISIS protocol shutdown. I like that. That's cool. Probably very practical for people working in doing large service provider deployments. All right, so how do we configure these levels? That's my question here. Let's go to our reference doc and see. Well, I already closed my agenda. I'm bad about closing windows, like as soon as I'm done with them. Recently closed. Cisco. All right, let's go back to our agenda. It's always cool learning new technology, though, you know, when it's kind of the first time and you're, oh, it's in my lab sheet, which I closed. It's always cool to, like, oh, cool, what does this do? Let's turn the knobs. And I'm pretty sure, based on, you know, I don't know how old ISIS is. I know it's been around a long time. But the longevity of ISIS just kind of speaks to the fact that, you know, it's probably going to be around for a while. You change your level type, your router config, router level. Okay, levels are router. Unlike us, where areas are interface level concepts. Okay, thank you, Scropus. Good to know, man. Good to know. Show CLNS interface. That's kind of what I was looking for earlier too. All right, so good call out, man. Let's do that. Let's go to router. Let's do a router 1 first. And IS type, yeah. IS type. Here you go. So you got level 1 and 2, level 2 only. This was kind of what was tripping me up before. The fact that you could be a level 2 only. For some reason, I had it in my head that you had to be either level 1 or level 2. But no, you can be level 1, level 2. Sorry, I thought you could be either level 1 or level 1 and level 2. I thought you had to be either of these options. But no, you can be level 2 only. So, yeah, we're going to set right now. As a matter of fact, maybe we can do our chart that way. So do IS type level 1. Yeah, let's rework this a little bit. Let's create a whole new reference sheet here. Here in the Lantana Google Drive. New Google Sheet, create and share. Why not? Share with the world. And we'll call it ISIS level matrix. All right, so we'll say router 1, router 2, L1, L1, L2, L2. And we'll say area same, area different. This may work. We'll see. Same L1 area. All right, so if we are L1, and then for other variations, we'll have L1 and then L1, L2. Actually, let's do it like this. So for L1, L1, L2, L1, L2. Same, not same L1, or different. There we go. And then L1, L2, and L1, L2. I know some of this is kind of repeating if you look at from the other direction, but we're just going to go through the motions here, right? All right. So what are your predictions, folks? Let's fill out our predictions and see if they are correct. Okay, so if we're on L1, L1, same L1 area, it's going to say L1, ISIS, right? Show CLNS neighbor. Yeah, IS-IS. Okay, if there are different areas, it should say ES, IS. And I don't even know if it says L1 or not. I think it leaves a type. Yeah, we'll find out in a second. Let's continue to fill out our predictions here. So for L1, L1, L2, same area, it should say, and this is show CLNS from router A, right? So if we're in the same L1 area, it should be it should say it is L1 ISIS. Again, I don't think it's going to recognize that it's L2 because it's not connecting as an L2 to L2 router. All right, that's about as far as I'm going to get there. We're going to actually go lab this, right? So let's go to our... Right now, these are in the same area. And we're going to make... Let's say router ISIS. What was the command? Is type. Is that IS type or is type? All right, I don't know if you have to clear anything or... All right, it still says... Okay, intermediate system type. Yeah, I'm wondering, is it saying... Okay, it is intermediate system type. It's not is type. Okay. Is and is not. It is actually intermediate system type. Okay. Okay, he's saying he's a neighbor. Yeah, we just had to recycle. All right, L1 ISIS. Our prediction here is accurate. Okay. All right, so now what if we have them in different areas? Let's go through all these first. It's going to be easier that way, and then go through all these, right? So this is the case on router 2 if we change it. Level 1, 2. All right, we'll give it a second here. All right, interesting. Yeah, we'll worry about that in a minute, but that prediction is correct. All right, so now what if it's L1 and L2, and they are in the same L1 area? I'm going to call this here not applicable. Because they're not, router 2 doesn't have a L1 area. But it's going to be kind of hard to denote that. Let's see, router 2, not. Router 2, R2. That'll be the case, these three instances, right? But let's go and configure it. And this type level 2 only. Yeah, we should see something though. Already sees router 3. Well, I could be wrong about that because I don't recall actually being asked about this scenario. Okay. Show CLNS interface. First time using this command, show CLNS interface, and we've got ERP to use enabled, whatever that is. CLNS fast switching. Routing protocol ISIS level circuit type. Circuit type level 1, 2. I guess that's the default for the interface. Yeah, I thought I'd read that was the default for the interface. Okay, let's see. Redistributing ISIS, max path, wherever networks. Okay, so they're just not able to form any kind of adjacency at all. Because they don't really have a way to connect, I guess, because yeah, they're not in the same area. And router 2 is backbone only, but router 1 is not a backbone. Interesting. Okay. All right, let's make a change here now. Let's move on to this scenario. We're going to say router ISIS. And keep forgetting this command here. IS type. Level 1, 2. Now it should connect. But we're going to change this back. Okay. A minute to converge here. I wonder what the ISIS states are. The router states, for example, like OSPF, there's, OSPF v2 anyway, there's, init, down, init. Ah, okay, they do have the states as well, up, init. We saw it right there. All right, so router 1, it's showing, that's what it's showing here. What is it showing here? L1, ISIS. Okay, right. We're connecting on in area 1. Cool. And I think this is going to say L1, L2, ISIS, right? Wow, that was quick. Boom, L1, L2, ISIS. Yeah. All right, so this is back to where we were in the beginning, right? Now we're going to make router 2 L2 only, level 2 only. Interesting, it says level 2 only, right? In this one, I expect it to say L2 ISIS. SNPA, anybody remember what that stands for? I'm so worried about typing ISIS now. The CCIE journey. Oh, the trees. And the gravel. And the sheep. That's not my CCIE journey, buddy. I wish it was. About Kenyan MPLS networker's journey as an IP. Cool. I love the days when everybody just blogged. Journey of an IP MPLS core networks engineer. This is probably a good summary here, guys. Pseudonode. Right. How do you see that? I forget. You have to do... Show CLNS neighbors. Database, right. This asterisk, I think, denotes the pseudonode. Yeah, I mean, this would be fun to kind of go deeper. But again, I'm just trying to... Not trying to go too far. Yeah, L2 ISIS is what we have. So, all right, so let's make a router 2. And on this one, I would expect... Okay, we did all those, L1, L2. Now we're doing exclusively L2 on router 1. And we'll have some duplication here, but that's okay. Level 1. Yeah. Wonder if this works. My Control A is not working there for some reason. International keyboard? No? Okay. Yeah. Anyway, let's see what we got. Oh, wait, will we even form an adjacency? No, we will not. We will not. This is the same as this, right? Well, the more appropriate, the column here is asking, what is the output? So that's right. It is true we have no adjacency, but the output is no output. There is no output. Let me run the command. All right, L2, now we're going to change this to, we're leaving router 1 at L2 only, and we're going to do L1, L2 here. What I would expect to see is L2 ISIS, right? Excuse me. And here I would expect to see also L2 ISIS. All right, let's see if that's true. Level 1. I know we haven't done much with router 3. If I have time, what time is it now? It's almost 7:52. If I have time, we may play with Wireshark here and do some PCAPs because I've not yet done packet captures in my Eve and G Pro VM, but it's supposed to be pretty easy with the Pro version. We may give that a try if we have time. You know, I have this need. It's like, I don't know, it's like having to drink water, go to the restroom, you know? I gotta do a packet capture, if I can. Even though I'm not trying to get too deep here, but what do we got? Yeah, L2 ISIS. All right, and now let's change him to 2 only. He seems to respond pretty quickly. Hold time, 376 milliseconds. Wait a second, I would expect here, yeah, it's just convergence, I think. He's L2 only, he's L2 only. They should be able to exchange routes or in the backbone area. Okay, there we go. Yeah, all right. So that worked. So that's all within the same area. It's pretty much what we expected. Now, if we go through different, we're going to have a completely different result by them being in different areas. And by different areas, of course, that's the area address of the router. Let's see, show run section. Does that work? Does. Yeah, so at the global router configuration mode, we're going to change the network here to 47. Let's just say net. All right, this is going to be a completely different ballgame, right? And we're going to configure it to start out as a L1 router. So IS type. And over here on router 2, so what I expect to happen here, instead of the no output, I think I'm going to get ESIS. Let's see. I could be wrong about that. Maybe it's this scenario. And I'm assuming that E is external. External system, intermediate system, maybe. Okay, wait a second. This is not what I expected. Type L1, protocol ISIS. You know what we're going to do? In system, OSI host, basically. Oh, okay, thank you, Scrawlpost. Man, it's great having people in the chat that can satisfy our curiosity right away. Okay, so why do we get this? Do I have to reset? Clear all ISIS data structures. Restart IS process null. Okay. Interesting. Okay, clear IS local redistribution. Interesting. Show old time 8. Interesting. Yeah, I'm so confused as well, man. This is like really throwing me off here. This is not what you see in the screenshots from the BOSON exam, that's for sure. Does this confirm that we are doing what we think we're doing? Show CLNS interface GI0 It should show me the area. It's even learning routes. Okay, that's not what I expected. Did I do this right? Or did it add both? Ah. I did not know you could do that. You can be in multiple... Yes, I did. I did read that. I know with OSPF v3, you can have multiple instances, right? Like you can, with OSPF v3, you can run multiple instances of OSPF on the same interface. So it looks like there's somewhat of a similar concept here with ISIS, where we can, obviously we're running multiple areas on the same interface, I guess. Show CLNS. GI00. Yeah, it is. I know it is a global. Wow, that is cool, though. I could see that being a great CCI written exam. So you're in the same area, and then here's how it would be worded. You go to global configuration mode, router ISIS, and you type the command net space blah, blah, blah. What will be the output of show CLNS neighbors? Oh, man, that would be... Ooh, this is actually a good idea. If I want to play a... that's a great idea, because show IP interface brief and I are talking about like doing dueling like lab challenges to each other. I've got a great idea for them right here. Although this is not really applicable because we're going to be focused on what is in the purview of the actual written exam, and we're not going to be doing, you know, ISIS lab configuration is not part of, it won't be in the lab exam, so darn it. I might do it just for fun anyway. Okay, so we take this out. Now we should be... That's an interesting question though, Scrawlpost, if you're still there hanging out. Like, what is your limit of number of areas you can configure for a single excuse me, ISIS instance? All right, now if we do show CLNS neighbors. All right, don't do this to me. Clear. Clear ISIS star. Still up like right away. Oh, that's gonna put, because I put the same one back. Durr. Interesting. So I typed, it put them, you know what's interesting is when I do a show run, my assumption was, I put this in, right? It put it in numerical order, not the order in which it was configured. Did you notice that? No, it didn't. Okay, it put it in the order which I... All right, anyway, this is the where the order needs to go. No. That was my fault. This and this. Okay. All right. Now let's get back into the land of the living here. Okay. To be honest, I don't think... Maybe we don't see ESIS until we have level 2 on both. But they're indifferent, that's what it is, yeah. I think this is going to be no output. And when we have L2 and L1, L2 here, but we're in different areas. I think this is where we get ESIS. I believe that's where it comes. So let's see. Yeah, we got nothing. All right, moving right along. We're going to change. It is, but we'll see. According to the BOSON exam, you will see that probably in this scenario, because they are both level 2 routers. So they attempt to communicate, but they have a compatibility issue, obviously. So you should see an output like this. Yeah, I think this is sort of a corner case, but that's why they ask you on the exam, I think. Try to trip you up. All right, so let's see here. A router, I think I'm already in this mode, that's fine. IS type, level 1 and 2. Interesting. ES. See, check this out. That is, of course, CLNS. That's not ISIS. We should have used this when we had an adjacency, right? Okay, got nothing here. All right, moving along now to L1, L2, and L1, different areas. We're just going to get rid of you for now, router 3. Sorry, we had no use for you. Oh, not yet anyway. All right, so this is going to be level 1. So you saw a glimpse of that here, right? Yeah, I didn't think we would really get any output here. Yeah, just router 3. All right. Now let's do this test here. Is type level 1, 2. Well, okay, they were happy. Which, let me think about this. L1, L2. Yeah, this is probably a pretty standard configuration, right? Because you've got, this is how you would bridge different level 1 areas with the level 2 backbone being shared on 2 different links. So yeah, I had that wrong. L2 ISIS. That's right. I think we're going to see that other output though. Just give it a minute here. Okay, that's cool. The next one is L1, L2, L2. This might be the one. This may be okay. Yeah, this. Converge. All right, let me think about this. We've got L1, L2, and L2. Different L1 area. They should still connect. Yeah, they do. Okay. All right, L2 and then L1, L2. Let's change this, change router 2 here. All right, so let me think about this. L1, L2, L2 and L1, L2. Yeah, that's what I would expect. Wait, that one was good, right? No, it wasn't. Okay, now we'll do... While we're thinking about it, I'm going to check. There was a case... Okay, yeah, here is a... Let's see what we have the output here. Okay, L2 ISIS. All right. All right, this is from one of the BOSON questions. Type IS, protocol ESIS. Now, how do we replicate that? I'm confused now because... Oh, ESH. All right, there are 2 hello packet types, in system hello and then intermediate system hello. ESH is sent by an end system. ES is discover routers by list for ISH packets. When an ISIS routing level mismatch, authentication mismatch, or MTU mismatch occurs, an ISIS adjacent will not form, but the output command might instead show an ES. Ah, okay. So it's not because of being at different L1 areas. Well, that's why we're labbing this, right? So let's say we change the MTU or the authentication. That would be the easiest. So let's say interface GI00, and let's say ISIS password Cisco. Oh, we got a syslog message. CLNS4 authentication failed. So now, let's see if we get some sort of output here. When an ISIS routing level mismatch, authentication mismatch, or MTU mismatch occurs, ISIS adjacent will not form, but the output command might instead show an ESIS adjacency. Okay, how do we replicate that? That's what I want to know, because I've seen it in a question. All right, this just stays in the knit state. Let's try it with MTU. Maybe we can duplicate it with MTU. Let's see. We don't want IP MTU. We want MTU. And I'm not sure if I can do this on viral. Do show interface GI00. Okay, 1500, right? So can we change it? MTU, let's say 1300. Yeah, we should be able to. It's in the... Some of the other images have a problem doing this. Some of the other virtual images, I forget which one it is, that they were having an issue. Oh, with IOU Web or Cisco IOU. Yeah, it has an issue with this. But viral supports it all day. So now let's see, clear... Debug ISIS. Oh, update packets maybe? Man, can't duplicate that. We didn't clear over here, so it's still it's still in a knit state. When an ISIS routing level mismatch, authentication mismatch, or MTU mismatch occurs, and ISIS adjacent will not form, but the output of the show CLNS neighbors command might instead show an ESIS adjacency. If router A and L1 router is connected to router B, a router in another area, the following output might be displayed on router A. Okay, that could be a... It could be that that's not easy to emulate here in with the iOS V images. maybe on physical hardware, other gear, other images, it might actually show that. But it's not showing that here. It's just not forming adjacency at all. All right. Well, we scratched that itch. And now we have a complete diagram here. So no CLNS routing. We could try it. Yeah, it's a little different. It references a link, which this is just a screenshot. So let's, I want to go too deep into it, but I'll bet it's in the troubleshooting section or the frequently asked questions. Let's see, 5.1563. Let's go to, that would be under technology section though, wouldn't it? Yeah. Well, we'll go configuration guides. Customizing. ISI's fast convergence. I'm sure this is a big deal for the service provider exam. This is probably a big deal in service provider. Yeah, it might be under like the technology. They've screwed up this. I knew that as soon as I would start labbing again, I would start cursing the redesign support menu again. Every time they touch it, it just gets worse. Okay, product support. You know, used to be able to go to like, well, here's technologies. Okay, this is how you get to technologies now. Yeah, oh, don't get me started on broken links. Oh my gosh. So I would assume it's under IP routing. Troubleshooting tech notes. BGP. I know my font's really large. It's just... Well, they do have a section here. Oh, debug ISIS adjacency packets. Oh, here we go. So here it is in the documentation. I don't know what they're using here. Yeah, because there's padding, right? In the then Stripe Interface Brief actually tweeted about this today. He talked about why the MTU size is important. It has to do with the padding. This document demonstrates what happens when there's an MTU mismatch on the interface. Two connected routers are on the MTU on router F, so we change the default value. Let's try 2000 just for grins. Oh, there's some debug output. What was the debug command it said? Debug. ISIS. Yeah, JC packets. That's what we need. Oh, this is good stuff. I said this is probably good stuff for the definitely for the service provider exam. He knows us. Ooh, that's kind of scary. That's like out of a Stephen King novel. He knows us. Link 1497. Link 1997, right. It should just like going, he knows us. Show silliness neighbors. Look at that though. See, it's... Yeah, just we keep... I don't know what the hello interval is, but yeah. Alright, so maybe the viral image is too smart. Like it knows how to pad or something. I don't know. Alright, good stuff. Yeah, I'm glad I was actually able to find documentation on this relatively quickly. Yeah, the pseudonode. I know they don't really ask about that, or at least I haven't seen questions about that in the BOSON, but I'm sure the pseudonode concept is probably pretty important in the SP material. Overload bit. You need to know about this for the written too. Overload bit is important. All right. Well, that was very helpful to do. That was a very helpful lab for me. And I think that gave me just the right amount of clarity that I probably need for the exam. So, good stuff, guys. And it was fun. I haven't been labbing in a while. I miss it. I look forward to getting back to it again very soon, hopefully. Well, that's going to wrap it up for tonight, folks. We'll be here tomorrow, back here in Land Timber Stream, to give you an update where I'm at. And tomorrow, of course, we will be at 12 days. So, we will see you on the 12-day stream. And thanks for stopping by. Appreciate all the help there, Squirrelpist90. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but anyway, great to have you here in the chat. And as again, thanks for all your support, folks. Please hit that follow button if you haven't already. If you have not yet used your Twitch Prime this month, feel free to hit that sub button. You can link your Twitch Prime to your Amazon Prime in case you didn't know that. And you get one free subscription a month. Thanks for stopping by, folks. We shall see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your holiday, whatever's left of it. And we'll see you tomorrow here on Land Timber Stream at 7 p.m.